I miss the era of the hippies. Peace, love, free love. I don't miss that, but yeah, things were different then. I miss the self-expression. I miss the life, the vitality of living. I miss that. I miss the beautiful, colorful peace symbols. I miss the colorful bedrooms I used to sit in with my girlfriends. I miss the love. And my dog wants fed. One moment, Moose. He's the Newfie. He's got different barks than the Great Dane does. Anyway, I miss them. I could go to school. I'm not talking about the Charles Manson type, so don't start with me, you guys. I miss going. I was able to go to school, and if the boys were going to fight, they'd call a fight, and everybody would have to meet at the railroad track. And we would. And it was fisticuffs. They'd smack each other. Not a big deal. The whole school was there. They weren't going to kill each other, And they didn't. The bloody nose, busted lip. They'd shake off, shake hands, or at least be friends in a week or so, but they would be friends again. I never went to school where there was a gun. There was a pocket knife once, but he wasn't using it. He was whittling outside on the playground. There weren't any knives. Teachers were not being shot. If police were getting shot, I didn't hear about it. Well, I'm sure it happened, but not as much as it does now. When I was a kid, I could go and play in my front yard and be safe. And I was on a busy street. When I was a kid, I could play with my dolls, not have somebody question me if I was being too girly. When I was a kid, I was allowed to be female. When I was a kid, everything was different. Now, we have complicated things. Some things are better. Some things not so great. There have always been gangs in our country dating back for centuries. Different kinds of gangs, but there's always been gangs. It is nothing new to history. It is nothing new to areas. It's nothing new to especially the poverty areas. But it's also nothing new to the suburbs. It's been here in the suburbs for a long time. I lived once upon a time in Washington's east side, which is very rich. And I lived there. It was rich. I wasn't rich, but the people around me were. Believe me. Oh. Medina wasn't too far away. We're Bill Gates. Oh, what did I do with it? Oh, no. Where Bill Gates had his house built. Bill Gates was a prodigy when I was a kid. He was a kid too, actually. A little older than me, but not by much. When I was a kid, he took piano lessons, harp lessons, violin lessons, guitar lessons. Anyway, your life, you had music. When I was a kid, we had art school, and we had PE. We called it gym. I used to like the monkey bars. You can't call the monkey bars anymore because somebody got offended and associated them with another culture. That is so fucked up. How the hell is I as a kid gonna think that? I just want to know, just seriously. When I was a kid, I had the most bigoted parent in the frigging world. Was I? No. I was part of the 60s movement. Of course I wasn't. I wanted to be cool, you know. I have a black friend. I have a Mexican. Well, anyway, everybody had tokens back then. Now we really have to have friends. We have to make peace. We have to learn to get along with each other and not be idiots. I've discussed so many things with so many people, and there's so many things that I want to say in this one video that it's not long enough. It's not short enough. What do we talk about? What do we think about? Children end up missing every day. I see white kids on the board by the hundreds and thousands. I see black kids on the board by the hundreds and thousands. Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. I see them. And I also know some are alive. Some did run away. But some really didn't run away. Where they are, no one knows. Never found them. When I was a kid, I never saw that. When I was a kid, I remember one little girl in Aurora, Colorado. I lived in Nevada, who did get kidnapped, and it was by a neighbor boy across the street, and they didn't know that. But anyway, her body was found like 3 months later. That stuck in my mind, so much so that I still remember her name. Weird. And her name, which was 40 years ago? No, because I'm 57, so let's say almost 50 years ago. I was about 8, so 49 years ago. Paula Sue Steinbeck. I don't remember the boy who killed her, but I remember her name because it terrified me. And my grandparents would tell me, if you go out in that front yard, this could happen to you. I stayed in the backyard for a very, very long time. But I remember when I was a kid, pot seemed to be our thing. Some drank, some did do LSD in my group. It just depended on which end of the track you were on, but my group, it was just pot. In other groups, it was LSD and acid and window pane. I don't know, all of you guys out there that are my age probably remember what window pane is. But when I was a kid, it was that 70s show. Not for me, but for the rest of the group, and it should have been. They were the party animals. Every group has party animals. I don't know one that doesn't. Do you? I don't. But what really gets to me. Damn. What really gets to me are the gangs. They shoot and they kill. I mean, they just spray walls and they'll kill little kids and everybody. They don't care. I moved away from the east side to get away from the south side of Seattle because the south side had affected my life and my personal life with my children. Seattle to me was, the gangs there in Seattle were a blight to my life. I became angry. Well, I'm still fucking angry. Because I moved clear to Mount Vernon to get away. How stupid of me. It's in every state. It's in every city. It's in California. It's in Colorado. It's in Oklahoma. It's in Montana. It's in Wyoming. You name it, they've got it. White gangs, black gangs, Asian gangs, Mexican gangs, Italian, Spanish, hell, even the French probably. Who knows about the French? They like to talk about Americans being stupid. Yeah, well, I'll add this one. Anyway, so I live in this area, you know. There's this one kid a few months back that brought all of his buddies up to my area, to our private park, a huge park, really nice. And we don't own it. Who owns it, I don't know. But anyway, doesn't matter. But anyway, this kid stabbed another kid. Now, meanwhile, all of the other kids that aren't in this gang, my kids included, were just standing there watching. I mean, they were like, wow. The police showed up. And so he was stabbed, and they took the kid away in handcuffs. Well, I thought the kid got 3 years, right? No, I was wrong. Very wrong. He's supposed to get 3 years. 5 years. His parents, his grandparents, had a very good lawyer. He lawyered up. He didn't lawyer up. His grandparents did. Anyway, this kid managed in this time period, before that, did still quite a few things without me even knowing it. Bows, speakers, paintings, jewelry. He ripped me off blind. But you'll know, we'll overlook that. Why? Because now he's threatened. Oh, by the way, my grandson beat him up. My grandson has stopped going to high school. I mean, he goes, but hardly ever. Because he was told that they're going to kill him. Yeah. My grandson, as we all know, has some issues anyway. And you know what's really sad is I'm not stuck in the middle. I can walk away from this and tell everybody to screw off. And I can. I'm not going to. And I can't mention that kid's name because he's a minor. But I'd like to. Because I want him out of my neighborhood. I want him and his friends out of my neighborhood. I want them so far gone, you wouldn't believe it. Neighborhood watch ain't gonna fix this. Not unless you start carrying baseball bats. A long time ago, I told a friend of mine who I haven't seen in years now that it's going to spread like a disease. Because I was in the middle of it at that time. And it did. And it's evil. And these kids kill. So I really want to be back when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, that shit didn't happen. Not in my neighborhood.